Welcome back to the Moonchild Podcast. I'm your host, Elijah KB, and today we're going to be talking about changing your beliefs to change your life. Okay, changing your beliefs to change your reality, changing your beliefs to change your life. All right. I've went over this information before a few times, but the key to reprogramming the subconscious mind is repetition, right? I would say that's the second most important thing. Of course, the first thing is to feel and release the old feelings and thoughts. You know what I'm saying? And basically, that's pretty much what I'm talking about today. So you want to remember to change the old thought patterns and the old belief system that you're currently plugged into, that's causing or showing you a reality that you're not satisfied with, right? So this can look like anything from, your relationship with people to your experience in a certain part of life. You know what I mean? Whether it's jobs, whether it's, your relationship with money, it can be any of these things. But when you see something in your reality that you're not pleased with, and you don't want that to be a part of your reality, you have to think about why it's there. What part of your subconscious mind is attracting that? And also, sometimes, what is this supposed to be teaching you? What are you supposed to learn from this? What is the lesson in this? What can you take away from this to apply it and close out whatever cycle it may be? And the universe will have no more reasons to send you that same thing back over and over again, because you've learned your lesson. But yeah, we want to make sure we're asking ourselves the right questions. What are my core beliefs about this, right? Asking yourself questions like, why do I do that? Like, why do I do it like that? What do I actually believe about this? What do I actually believe about attracting money? What do I actually believe about attracting love? What do I actually, and why do I believe that? When you answer that first question, ask yourself, well, why? When did that start? What feeling do I have when it comes to this subject? Whatever the subject may be. Okay? Ask yourself. Like genuinely become curious about it. Not judgmental, not impatient during the process, just open and curious, just observant. Like, why do I even think like that? Who told me that? Why have I been carrying that my whole life, or, for X amount of years, or for X amount of months, whatever it is? Why? What is this rooted in? Is this rooted in my truth? Clearly, I don't like how this shows up in my reality. So it's not, this existence of it within my reality. I don't want. So, let me get down to the bottom of where I even took this in as true. They have a lot of little traps here on this earth experience, this 3D realm, 3D reality. Me personally, I am a man of facts. I am a very practical man, right? But I also am highly spiritual and tuned, like highly spiritually inclined, right? So, my spiritual expression and my spirituality is just as important as my logic and reason and things of that nature. The facts about, certain scenarios and that level of consciousness where facts and logic and reason lives at, is actually not the end all be all. It's a very important factor to factor in here for the physical reality, for things that thinking matters, things that are having to do with thought, certain levels of intellect. It's a mental thing. Like logic and reason and practicality can take you very far in this 3D realm, as far as the physical realm can take you, right? So this is more so, it can take you very far in things like school, maybe building a business, maybe the numbers of things. You calculate that right. You use certain techniques, you use certain approaches. You can, think 10 steps ahead of, what could possibly happen, possible outcomes and things like that. There's a lot of power within the mental, a lot of power within the logic and the reason and the practicality and the strategic moves and things like that. And I'm not only a participant in it, I'm a fan of it. I love that. But I just want you to know that also has a limitation, and it can only take you so far. When we're talking about our spiritual existence, logic, reason, and practicality doesn't really have a home there, and it can't really help you. You understand? Because the spiritual realm can't be bound by logic and practicality or explained how things of the physical realm can be explained. So you would actually just have to be spiritually inclined and spiritually intelligent in a sense, right? To understand what is going on the spiritual side, psychological side, emotional side. You would have to be more inclined to things that are outside of the box of practicality, logic, and reason. Because if you stick to that too much and you try to apply it to something else like this, which, breaks all the rules of that shit, you're going to be very confused. And, it's because you're leading with such a rigid mind. You're not really open to anything that you can't find wrote down on paper or, like people make documentaries about it, or the facts of this, the facts of, whatever, right? That's a trap in itself. You kind of get caught into that. And if you become engulfed in it, then you start to not only just believe that, but that consumes your mind. So therefore you see that's where you live. That's the reality you live in, right? There's other realities outside of that, but because you have engulfed yourself in that, that's what that's your limitations now. Changing your old belief patterns in order to get a reality that's more so in alignment with what you're looking for in life. Okay. Like I said, ask yourself why. Why do you even feel like that? Who told you that? Why do you think that way? Why has it Why is it constantly in your reality? What type of feeling comes over you when that subject even comes up? Pay attention to that. Pay attention to when somebody even mentions, you know, whatever you're trying to change your reality about. Think about pay attention, like get in your body and actually feel the sensations of what's going on inside your body. How is your body emotionally responding to that? Do you tighten up? Do you uh become a little flustered? Do you become a little stressed? Do you, you know, what is it? Where are you feeling that? Where and allow yourself to observe that. And when you get time, sit with it, and actually sit in it. Allow it to be there. Don't try to rush it away. Allow it to be there and just be curious, be observant, and allow yourself to speak. If you got to speak from in order to help release that, do what you have to do in that sense. But what we want to do is detox ourselves from our old thought patterns, our old feelings surrounding topics and things that we would like to change about our life. So if you have a bad relationship with money, you will have a bad reality with money. I've said this before, a few times before. I'm not against affirmations. Affirmations are beautiful. Do your thing, but understand that covering up the real shit with a bunch of positive shit is not going to make the real shit that's really going on inside you go away. You actually have to take the time to release that. Take the time to actually feel that and allow yourself to release those things. There's no way around it. I'm sorry to tell you. If you're trying to avoid the pain, avoid the trauma from maybe something that went on in your past, and that's why you're like this about certain things. I'm here to tell you, you actually have to deal with your shit. Sometimes things happen to us when we're so young that obviously we're not at fault. We're not responsible for that. But now that we are adults, now that we've gotten to this point in our life, it is now our responsibility to heal ourselves. And now we have to fix it. That's the way to healing, you know what I mean? And this is how you start to work yourself into feeling and releasing and doing what you got to do to move on from it. Spend time with that part of yourself. Be gentle with that part of yourself. Be compassionate with that part of yourself. Listen to that part of yourself. And when you're ready, start to release. Just start releasing the old thought patterns, the old feelings. Start detoxing, whether it's through crying, whether it's through just, session by session, little by little, however you're chipping away at it. Allow yourself to feel it and allow yourself to release it. Don't do too much trying and overthinking. This is about feeling. It's not about what you think. It's not about making it make sense. Feelings don't make sense. You understand? So allow yourself to feel that and allow yourself to release. Well, what do you feel about it? What do you even believe about that? Like, truly in your core, like, what is actually going on surrounding that topic for you? What do you believe? Do you even believe that you should have a car? Do you believe that things will go okay if you're on your own in that way? You understand? Like, sometimes it can be things like that. We may have underdeveloped parts of ourselves due to lack of nurture, or you know what I mean? Like, Do you believe that you can? Does it sound right for you to have your own car? Does it feel right? If you was to say that to yourself, does it, like, my car, does that even feel right to you? Or do you feel like you gotta, it's like you're not there yet? You know what I mean? My house. Does that feel right to you? You feel like you're not there yet? You know, when you think of a healthy relationship, you know, do you feel like you really are ready for a healthy relationship? Or do you feel like that's down the road? Because remember, the universe is so literal that people will miss it. If you keep saying that vibrationally, then in your reality, it's always down the road. The universe is literal. It will give you it will match the vibration that you're giving out. It won't do things for you that you won't do for yourself, that you're not willing to do for yourself, that you won't initiate with your vibration. It will not step in and just do shit for you. Not unless it's what your vibrational match to, and you've already initiated, and you put the proper intention out, and you keep that vibration clear. You hold that image steady. You understand? You monitor your vibration, and you make sure that you're taking actions towards that is positively pouring into that idea. So, what do you really believe about the things that you're complaining about? The things that you claim that, you don't deserve? The way the universe is doing, and how you're suffering so much, and what do you really believe? The things that you're struggling with, what is, like, okay, we can spend all day blaming people, places, things, God, the universe, whatever you want to call it. That's endless. We can all throw a pity party. We can all be, in the woe is me boat, and just, try to explain it away that way. Here's the thing about that approach. It won't fix shit. So, you can do it, but you won't get anywhere. You just spin your wheels and keep doing the same shit, because to you think you're not doing anything wrong. It's the universe. But how can that make sense to you when you know that the universe is doing what you do? Not what you pretend to do, not what you even do consciously, but your subconscious and your conscious has to match up. It has to be on the same accord. You have to be feeding your new beliefs to your subconscious mind, or your conscious mind, until it's transferred to the subconscious mind, aka making a habit. Building this part of yourself up, nurturing this part of yourself so it's just as strong as the old version of you, right? And slowly, while you're doing that, and also feeling and releasing the old, you are now transforming. You are now becoming somebody else in the best way possible. You're now becoming the version of yourself that is a vibrational match to the things that you are looking to experience in this human experience. You have to really be real with yourself. You have to actually ask yourself real questions, and like, when something is a constant pattern, right? Whatever it is, we like to fancy ourselves as, well, it's just like just some sort of curse. I don't know. It's people. It's, people take advantage of me, and I just always end up in this. I don't know. It's just cycles are going. It's like, okay, what is it surrounding that? What is your actual belief about what's going on? What's your core belief about what's popping up in your reality? What can possibly be connected to that experience. Because listen, it doesn't always. It's not always something that's just clear cut. Sometimes it is. A lot of times it is. We miss the simple things. A lot of times. A lot of times we'll skip over like the very simple shit that's kind of like in our face. But that's, you know, there's no shame in that because we all have blind sides. It happens to all of us. It happens to the best of us, me included. It happens to everybody. So nobody's excluded from that. But I'm just telling you that sometimes it's just as simple as, you know, sitting with it, thinking like, oh, well, I kind of believe this. And that's why, okay, I get it now. And then, you know, problem solved. You can start to release, you know, feel and release, and then, you know, get in your affirmations, start your new journey, or redirect yourself in that space, and then get your new reality, right? But sometimes it's deeper rooted, and sometimes it's more so of like opposite of what, you know what I mean? Like if you're putting out a bunch of good shit and you're getting bad shit back, and you're trying to figure out like, well, I'm putting out good shit, why am I, you know, that's a little more complex for people to understand. But you know, even for that situation or that example, right? Like, where are you giving it from? Because if you're giving it from a people pleasing standpoint and you're exhausting yourself and you're overdoing it for people, then obviously you're gonna get shit back because that's, you know, you're putting yourself last. So people have to respond by putting you last because we live in a reality where you teach people how to treat you. That's just how it goes. Everything is energy. So if that's what you put out, then that's what you get back. Nobody give a fuck about how many things you did for people. Look at where you did it from. Like, you're pitiful. Like, you know what I mean? Like, stop doing that. like take time for yourself to, you know, draw your own boundaries and do things because you want to do them, not because you're trying to keep up some sort of imagery in other people's eyes. Do it from a true space. If you're doing it from a true space, from a noble space, then people will respect you for it, and you will get those type of things in return because you also know how to put yourself first. So people, the people who you are even supposed to be in alignment with will be around, and they will be pouring into you just as you pour into them. And those who can't do that won't even be attracted enough to stick around. You're not you're not a vibrational match to those people any longer. You understand? So this is what I'm saying. Like, changing your old beliefs, changing your old thoughts, changing your old behaviors, which is just, you know, going back to beliefs, connected back to beliefs in order to change your reality. What can you do about your reality? If you think you did everything, make sure you did everything. Make sure whatever waiting period you think you may be in, make sure it's actually a waiting period and the universe isn't looking at you like you looking at it. Like, nigga, what you gonna do? I mean, you know, the angels looking like, nigga, we're here to assist you. We don't do shit for you other than assist you. We don't initiate for you. We don't take actions for you. We assist you in your actions. We will do things along the way for you, but only when you're moving. Nothing drops in your lap. This experience is for you. This, you know, every, you know, Easter egg that you find in this journey, you know what I mean, in this whole game of life, like, you have to find it. You know what I mean? And sometimes you might get somebody pointing to where the egg is at, or AKA an angel number, and you look up the meaning and it's right on point with what you need to hear at this point. Yeah, we're gonna throw you a bone. We're not gonna leave you hanging, but you have to be willing to do for yourself, and you also have to be open to receive the messages that spirit does give to you, and your ancestors and your angels and, you know, the universe gives to you and assists you with. You got to be open to that too. But yeah, man, I done babbled on long enough. Talked about a few things, but yeah, the main point that I wanted to touch on was to change your old beliefs to change your life. Take a deeper look at what you're doing Stop looking at what other people doing and what you think it would make it better for them, what they should be like, or make it better for you, and why you think people. It's like, all right. If everybody's responding and everything is responding, and every place is responding to you in this manner, it's you. Okay, I'm sorry. If a lot of people keep telling you one thing about yourself, you know what I mean? And it's everywhere you go. I'm okay. Okay, the whole world is not wrong. Okay, like it might be something to that. Put your pride aside. Put your ego aside. Put your whatever the fuck is stopping you from taking a look at yourself aside, and check it out. I'm not saying that people don't say fuck shit and everything that somebody says, even if a couple people say it, you gotta go look into it and be down about some things about yourself. But I'm saying, like, if it's something so frequent, yeah, damn, if it's something so frequent, and it's surrounding something that you're having complications with, those people are probably just vessels to deliver a message for you. It's not so much as people's opinions. It could be, it can also be people's opinions, but that might just be spirit trying to help you. Because if you're meeting resistance, if you get to a point of like you're doing good, but this is hanging you up, and then you constantly hear like things surrounding this, like, okay, what about this? What about this? What about this? Then it might not be a bad idea to take a look. And that's just throwing it out there for anybody who may be getting answers, maybe getting clues to something, but they're ignoring it because they're writing it off as like, oh, people just say this, or oh, the world just. It's like, yeah, sometimes the world will react negative to your light and all these beautiful things, but then sometimes there's certain things to really look at self about, but this is why I always encourage people to really do shadow work and really get to know yourself, really be in your own body, because when you're that in tune, then you can kind of tell the difference between something that people are just doing and saying because they, reacting like that to your light. They might be haters, or they might be versus something that you might actually need to hear. Because some people can love you to death and to be genuine, and you'll write it off as like, oh, well, they just saying that because it's like, no, they really fuck with you, and you probably really need to hear that shit. You know what I'm saying? It's just something to, be thoughtful of. But the main point here, again, is to get to a point to where you start being observant of your life, and mainly the parts that are frustrating you, or or the parts that are not getting you, or where you're not getting the results that you're looking for in life. Think about your relationship with the topic. Get deep on that. Ask yourself real questions, and that should get you to your next level. That should get you over those hurdles, and that should allow you to get to your next state of evolution. So again, yeah, that's it. That's all I got for y'all tonight. This has been the Moonchild Podcast with the Moonchild, his motherfucking self, Elijah KB. Thank you. I appreciate you. For those interested in spiritual advice, I now have a page where you can sign up for a one-on-one hour session with myself. The link will be in the description. And for any questions and topics for the podcast, feel free to email them to me.